on the JSE this morning, a new listing, Acsion, being listed on the JSE. As I said, we've got the company founder and CEO, Kiriakos, Anastasiadis. I did get that right. He's in the studio with us to explain why they are coming to the exchange at a time when the lights are not on. But let's begin first. Thanks for coming through, by the way.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Let's begin perhaps by just looking at where the pricing came in. Was that in line with where you priced the company? You saw 1080 this morning?
Yes, it is 1080 is the right pricing actually, as I think it. And that the market appreciates and opens at that price.
Okay, so tell us your story. Why are you coming to the market, number one, at this particular time? As we were saying, the economic prognosis for South Africa doesn't particularly look good. And also at the same time, we're running into the year end and everybody's sort of like saying, hello, I've packed my bags. I'm not going to be buying stock at this time of the year.
We're not sensitive to the market forces, not very sensitive, because our gearing is very low. We can get money outside the stock exchange from banks at a better rate. So we are not sensitive. We are producing quite a lot of buildings. We are not buying buildings. We are not sensitive to the bond rate.
Right.
If the market goes down, for instance, it's not going to affect us a lot. It's going to be very little effect on us.
You're talking about things that won't be affecting you. Just a couple of weeks ago, there were some reports, and just to state what some of the reports were saying, we're looking at legal issues that were announced ahead of your placing, and this had to do with your subsidiaries. Tell us exactly what were those legal issues, who were the subsidiaries, and does this at all have an impact on, on today?
No, not at all. The legal issues are concerning shareholders. For instance, a shareholder 5 years ago sold certain shares, and of course today he is remorsing it, and he is trying to get some of that shares back. But it's not relating to the company, basically. So that's why we made the announcement, and that was all. It is not affecting the price or the company.
Yeah.
It's between shareholders.
So two things here. So you are coming in with, it's not a cloud, but it's a little issue that's hanging out there on the horizon. You'd imagine when you come to market, in most cases, you want to come with a good growth story. Let's leave this one for a while and talk about this story. What's your investment case?
Well, in the last 10 years, our growth in net asset value was about 100% per year, which nobody can show.
Wow.
We are very good in developing. We've got a formula where we develop at between 15 and 20% initial yield. That gives us a profit of double what we invest and what the debt is.
Wow.
I can tell you that we started in 2000 more or less, and with about 4 million rand, and now we are at 4 billion.
Wow.
So it is a huge increase in net asset value. And
in 7 years?
No, it's more than 7 years.
You said 2007?
No, 2000.
Oh,
2000 was the first one.
In 2000, so 14 years. In 14 years.
14 years we did that difference. So we are specialists.
What is the formula?
The formula is that we've got value engineering. When we start building, we take everything down. For instance, we break everything down, every cost, from the beginning, acquiring the land, getting, for instance, the bond, the rate, the interest rate, going down into the design, into the construction. Every step is broken down, and we've got parameters, and we say it's not going to cost more than that. The effect of that is that, the result of that is that we build at 7,000 rand a square meter, a shopping center, and in the market outside now it is 10 to 12. That is our strength. We are specialists. We develop from the beginning to the end. We don't buy buildings and try to enhance caps like REITs do. Over there, they just make a small profit. We make bigger profits.
Godfrey mentioned at the beginning that you are coming in or listing at a time where we do have problems with Eskom just being one of them. Now, your financial director, Peter Scotts, he said that you'd be able to achieve a 20 to 25% return each year over the next 4 years. You have an impressive track record, but you're also saying we can sustain this. Are we going to be able to sustain this? And you know, where else are you seeing the growth coming from? Is this just South Africa?
Definitely we are going to sustain the growth. Definitely. We're specialists, we know what we're doing, we've got a very good team, and we're going to increase the team.
You know we are recording, right?
Yes, of course. The fact is that South Africa is becoming saturated. Slowly, slowly, we can see it. We go to rural areas, but that is going to be saturated also, sooner or later. That's why we started with Africa. We've got some projects in Maputo, in Lusaka, and then also in Southeastern Europe, where there is a crisis now. And where there is a crisis, there is an opportunity. For the last 7 years, I studied that market. I know exactly the players, the properties, the players that have got problems, and we are in discussions to acquire certain assets there.
So this is growth that's going to be maintained. You have no doubt about that.
No doubt about that.
Okay, so we've got a minute or so of the show left. So I wanted to understand from you. There is an investor who's listening now and is saying, this guy says he's going to guarantee me a return of between 20 and 25% over the next 4 years. And he's talking about Africa and he's talking about Southern Europe. Beyond that, where else do you see the growth coming from? Because you have not mentioned Nigeria. Everybody has to talk about Nigeria, surely.
You cannot spread yourself thin. You have to do certain things in a country to get partners, local partners. So you cannot spread yourself thin continuously. That's why we're looking in Nigeria. We're studying the situation there,
right.
But it's not that promising.
It is not.
It's not that promising. There are a lot of problems, and of course, there are better opportunities in other places.
Absolutely. That's Acsion founder and CEO Kiriakos Anastasiadis.